Hello guys, welcome back to another one of my recorded video discussions for the subject Basic Occupational Safety and Health. So kung saan ang magiging topic natin for today is about fire safety. So again, my name is Engineer Gerald S. Robles, a faculty member of the Mechanical Engineering Department under the College of Engineering and Architecture of the Bataan Peninsula State University main campus in Balanga City, Bataan. So yung topic natin, which is about fire safety, is a very important subject matter in that it may involve a number of lives as well as property, especially if such fire outbreak is not contained at the soonest possible time. By the numbers, ang fire outbreak natin could be considered as an almost daily occurrence. So for this year, which is 2024, there was around 3,044 fire incidents that actually took place during the first quarter. So mas mataas ito ng around 620 fire incidents if ever ikukumpara natin to during the same period last year. So, ang pinaka-common leading cause natin dito was actually yung tinutukoy nating cigarette smoking, followed by unattended open flames from cooking. Now, as a private citizen, it is actually not our job to suppress or contain such fire outbreaks. Rather, ang task natin ito falls under the responsibility of our firemen under the Bureau of Fire Protection. However, as a private citizen, we also have this moral responsibility to help out in the suppression or containment of such fire outbreaks or incidents for as long as we can possibly can. So what makes a fire outbreak so dangerous is its unpredictability. So it can happen anytime, anywhere, and as well as to anyone or any person or individual. So from the poor or from the poorest to the rich, from the weak as well as to the powerful. So wala itong pinipili in that no one is actually exempted. So ang nakakatakot dito is that it actually happens when we least expect it to happen. So mostly during our sleep, which is by far the number one reason as to why there are numerous casualties involved. Now, shown here are 7 of the deadliest fires that actually took place here in our country within the last 50 years. So, infamously, yung bansa natin actually ranks number 1 according to the number of casualties who had perished. So, nangyari ito sa maritime industry during the peacetime period. So, pag sinabi natin peacetime period, ibig sabihin nito after ng World War II. So, ang tinutukoy natin dito is yung tinutukoy nating MV Doña Paz tragedy that took place in the year 1987. So, ang reason dito was that sobrang overloaded o overcrowded yung capacity ng ship where mostly yung mga casualties natin was not even listed sa actual manifest ng ship. So, samahan pa natin ng ineptness o walang saysay on the part of our concerned local authorities kung bakit nagkaroon ng gantong tragedy. Now, doon na tayo sa actual topic natin for today. So, ano ba yung tinutukoy nating fire? So, what is a fire? So, a fire is considered to be a result of a fast chemical reaction between a combustible substance or fuel as well as oxygen, which is usually manifested by the generation of heat as well as light. So, meaning, if ever mawawala yung isa sa tatlong elements natin, then therefore wala tayong incidents ng fire or fire breakout. Now again, what are the three elements for a fire to actually take place? Now for a fire to basically exist, so one, there should be fuel, which could either be a solid, a liquid, or gas, or vapor. Then second one is that there should be oxygen in the proper concentration to support or fund the continuous combustion of fuel. Then the third and last one is that there should be sufficient heat to eventually ignite this vapor. So all three elements represent the so-called fire triangle. So gaya na nabanggit ko before, there should be the proper amount of oxygen for a fire to propagate or basically exist. So according to the numbers, or by the numbers, it just needs around 16% of oxygen. So, yung hangin sa paligid natin o yung tinatawag nating atmospheric air actually contains 21% of oxygen. So, more than enough ito para ma-sustain natin yung propagation o existence ng fire outbreak natin. So, kung bababa naman sa 16% yung oxygen concentration natin, mamamatay naman ng kusa yung fire natin, basically because of what we call starvation. However, kung i-reverse naman natin dito, o i-reverse natin yung condition natin, as in tatasan man natin yung concentration ng oxygen sa atmospheric air, mas magiging violent o mas magiging fierce o malakas yung rate of combustion o fire outbreak natin. So, dapat nating tandaan that prevention is much more better than reactive measures. And that prevention is actually based on eliminating or minimizing the presence of any of the components of the fire triangle, which are the following. So, we have 1, fuel, 2, you have oxygen, and then third and last one is yung tinatawag nating heat. Now, what are the kinds of fire losses? Now, technically speaking, there are two kinds of fire losses. So, one is yung tinutukoy natin personal injuries, which could be fatal or non-fatal. So, non-fatal injury examples are burns, which could range from simple burns to first to second and then finally third degree burns, which can eventually lead to permanent skin damage. And then eventually we have inhalation of gases, which could lead to breathing difficulties. And then lastly, we have fatal injuries. So one is death by asphyxiation. Technically, wala na tayong oxygen to breathe upon, which is the leading cause of death. And then, second one is the death by burnt of fire, which is the second leading cause of death. And then, finally, death by being trampled upon by others o yung tinutukoy nating stampede. So, ito yung madadaganan ka since mostly ang gusto ng mga tao is makalabas ng room at the soonest possible time. So, lahat ng mga tao dito nagpapanik na. So, another fire loss is what we call property loss, which could be direct or indirect losses. So, sa direct losses, there is destruction as well as damage to property, not only as a result of fire or smoke, but also by water. So last is indirect losses. So referring to the loss of jobs, income, leading to business failure. So ano ba yung common causes of fire in a workplace? So the following are possible causes of fire in a workplace. So one is yung tinatawag nating short-circuiting and then overloading due mainly to an octopus wire connection. Then second one is the use of a defective electrical equipment or use of small wires instead of using standard wires according to the power consumption of electrical equipments that are actually involved. So 3 is the improper storage of flammable or combustible liquids or gases. And then 4 is the excessive storage of waste and other scrap materials which are actually in close proximity to sources of heat or fire. So 5 is smoking within the vicinity of combustibles. And then 6 and last one are the overloading of machines or equipments which are not properly maintained or properly operated. Meron tayo dito ang fire breakout notes. So, in the year 2004, there were around 70 fire incident casualties. So, majority or around 77% of whom actually died or perished from 8 p.m. in the evening until 7:59 a.m. in the morning. So, while only 23% actually died or perished from 8 a.m. in the morning until 7:59 p.m. in the evening. So, ang ibig sabihin nito is that majority of our casualties actually took place when they were actually sleeping or least expecting that something unfortunate a fire breakout would actually take place during those times kung saan mahimbing yung tulog ng mga tao. Now, the most important thing to take note here is that most of the fire deaths or fire casualties are actually caused by smoke and not by flames. So, yung death natin is actually via asphyxiation and not via burning. And that most of the deaths and injuries occur at night while the victims are actually asleep or times na off guard sila. Now, the most important note here is that you should be alerted at the soonest possible time para makalabas on time and still have the luxury of time to also inform or alert others. Sa fire outbreak kasi, yung peace of mind as well as alertness is a must. So, kapag nataranta ka, for sure, meron kang kalalagyan. So, next natin is that what are the three methods of fire extinguishment? So, there are three possible methods of extinguishing a fire and these are the following. So, one, meron tayong tinatawag na smothering, which is the removal or dilution of the percentage of air or oxygen to a point where the combustion actually ceases. So, in this case, we may either use a foam, a carbon dioxide, or ordinary dry chemical type of fire extinguisher, which is the most typical way. Or basically, in the absence of such chemical or in the absence of any kind of fire extinguisher, we may use a wet or wetted blanket to cover a fire, which is a classic example of a smothering process. So second is yung tinutukoy nating starvation, wherein we're actually removing or gradually decreasing the volume of any of the three elements of a fire triangle. So either the fuel, the heat, or the oxygen. So last of the three methods of fire extinguishment is yung tinutukoy natin via quenching. So here, we're actually cooling the fuel or removal of heat to a point where combustible vapors are no longer involved. Now, of the three methods of fire extinguishment, yung quenching natin by the use of large volumes of pressurized water is considered to be the most common and then cheapest. So, ito yung mga bombero natin na gumagamit ng pressurized water to actually suppress the outbreak of a fire. Now, take note that even if we have the three methods of fire extinguishment, prevention is still the best option. So next is what are the so-called fire extinguishers? So fire extinguishers are considered to be portable, handheld, active fire prevention device that are only used to contain or suppress small cases of fire outbreaks. So ito yung immediate action na ginagawa natin, which is to use such portable, handheld fire suppression device. So take note, applicable lamang ito sa mga small fires since it would fully consume its contents in just under 30 seconds. So, ang fire extinguishers natin are readily available in the market. So, kahit sino, basta merong internet and then merong account sa isang online shopping platform, can actually acquire or readily buy such device. So, ang fire extinguisher natin is available in 5 distinct types. So, yung mga nakikita sa picture, ito yung mga common types of fire extinguishers. So, classes na tayo ng fire extinguishers. So, for this one, we have Class A. So, Class A, these are for ordinary combustible materials such as cloth, wood, rubber, paper, as well as plastics. So, it actually extinguishes fire via cooling with pressurized water being used for such suppression. So, next natin is Class B. So, Class B fire extinguishers are actually intended for fires that are actually caused by flammable liquids as well as gases such as gasoline, oil, paint thinners, kerosene, and alike. So, ang method of fire extinguishment natin is via smothering. So, either nire-remove natin o dinadilute or binabawasan natin yung presence ng air or oxygen. So, next natin is Class C type of fire extinguisher. So, ang Class C type of fire extinguisher are for fires that are actually caused by energized electrical equipment, wiring, fuse boxes, as well as appliances. So, ang dapat natin tandaan dito is not to use water as the suppressing substance in these kinds of fire, as water is still considered to be a form of conductor. So, using water as the suppressing substance can actually cause possible electrocution, so doing more harm than actually good. Now, similar to Class B fires, ang Class C type of fire extinguishers extinguishes the fire by smothering using a non-conductible substance such as dry powder, carbon dioxide, or a vaporizing liquid. So next natin is Class D type of fire extinguishers. So ang Class D type of fire extinguisher are considered to be a special kind of fire extinguisher that are only used in the industry or factories having combustible metals such as magnesium, titanium, zirconium, sodium, lithium, as well as potassium. So, this one has a distinct color. So, kung titignan natin, hindi siya kulay red, which is mostly the case of other kinds of fire extinguishers. So, ang Class D type of fire extinguisher has a yellow color. So, it has the same method as most of the fire extinguishers, which is by smothering. So, dapat nyo tandaan na yung Class A lamang yung gumagamit ng cooling as a way of fire extinguishment. So, such type of fire extinguisher actually makes use of a pressurized non-conductive dry powder, carbon dioxide, or vaporizing liquid. So, the fifth and then last type of fire extinguishers is yung tinutukoy nating Class K type of fire extinguisher. So, again, we have here another kind or type of fire extinguisher that has a differing or varying color. So, in this case, ang kulay naman niya is kulay silver. So, these are used extensively in commercial kitchens where combustible cooking liquids such as animal oils, vegetable oils, and then fats are commonly found in abundance. So, this one actually makes use of a potassium acetate-based low pH extinguishing agents that is originally designed for use in commercial kitchen fire suppression. So, like most fire extinguishers, it actually smothers the burning oil by forming a soapy foam that actually traps combustible vapors and then steam, preventing them from igniting continuously. So next natin is yung mga typical parts ng isang fire extinguisher. So a fire extinguisher is composed mostly of the following parts, and these are the following. So first one, we have the so-called high pressure cylinder. So dito natin makikita yung contents ng pinaka-suppressing medium natin. So second one is what we call the handle. So dito natin hahawakan yung pinaka-portable fire suppressing device natin. Then, as a means para ma-check natin kung meron pa rin bang content o tama ba yung pressure na pinaka-content natin, magre-refer tayo doon sa tinutukoy nating pressure gauge. So, dapat yung pinaka-pointer na pinaka-pressure gauge natin, tatama doon sa pinaka-kulay green na portion. Instead na siya is tatama doon sa kulay red na portion. Kasi pag sinabi natin kulay green, ibig sabihin ng properly charged. Pagka naman nasa kulay red, tapos pointing mostly do sa may left side, overcharge siya. Ngayon, kung siya naman is pointing sa red, pero doon naman sa left side, ibig sabihin, mababa yung charging pressure. So, another one is yung tinutukoy nating safety pin. So, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung fire extinguisher natin unless tatanggalin natin yung pinaka-safety pin. Another one is we have what we call the operating hand lever. So, once na matanggalan natin yung safety pin natin, pwede na natin i-press o i-depress yung tinutukoy nating hand lever para ma-discharge na natin yung pinaka-content ng fire extinguisher. So, second one is yung tinutukoy nating discharge hose. So, sa pinakadulo ng discharge hose natin, makikita natin spray nozzle. And then, para masinop natin yung tinutukoy nating spray nozzle, kinakabit natin siya sa tinatawag nating spray nozzle holder. And then, para eventually ma-activate natin yung tinutukoy natin suppressing substance from the inside, meron tayong tinatawag na gas cartridge. So, ito yung nagpe-pressurize ng gas. Then, meron tayong tinatawag na siphon tube. So, dito dumadaan yung i-discharge nating suppressing substance from the inside. Then, last one is from the inside. Dito na natin makikita yung extinguishing substance natin. So, next natin is on how to use a fire extinguisher. So, tama ba yung stock knowledge natin regarding the use of a fire extinguisher? So, ang alam lamang natin so far is itututok natin yung pinaka-nozzle ng isang fire extinguisher and then i-depress lamang natin yung pinaka-depressing lever of depressing handle. So, meron tayong acronym na sinusunod regarding the use of a fire extinguisher. So, ang acronym na pinagbabasehan natin dito is read as PASS. So, PASS. So, yung P stands for pulling away the safety pin away from the handle. So, ang point kasi natin dito is kahit anong depression ang gawin natin, o activation gawin natin doon sa pinaka-depressing handle, hindi natin madi-discharge yung pinaka-contents niya unless tatanggalin natin yung pinaka-safety pin. So, second letter is yung aim. So, kinakailangan natin na i-aim properly o itutok natin yung pinaka-nozzle ng isang fire extinguisher at the base of any fire. So, bakit? So, kasi ang typical fire extinguisher's pressure can only last less than 30 seconds. So, baka mamaya may apoy pa pero fully consumed na yung contents natin dahil sa maling use ng isang fire extinguisher via its aiming procedure. So, third letter is S. So, kinakailangan i-squeeze natin yung lever slowly. Squeezing the lever or handle slowly would make use of the contents inside properly as well as efficiently. As in, walang masasayang since you are aware if the contents are being aimed and then being discharged properly. And then, fourth and last letter is S. As in, the discharge should be done in a swaying motion. So, to extinguish a fire properly, it now has a wider coverage kung swaying motion ang gagawin natin. So, tandaan natin na ang fire extinguisher is just a handy tool to suppress any small onset. So, any small onset. So, pamalitan lamang to. Cases of fires or fire outbreaks. And that it is not actually recommended to be used to cover large fires. So, ang reason natin dito is, again, madaling maubos yung contents natin at just under 30 seconds of continued usage. So, another wrong impression is not to fully consume the contents of the fire extinguisher. So, yung matitipirin natin kasi inisip natin, pwede pa natin itong gamitin in future possible cases of fire outbreak. So, mali yung idea, yung concept na yun kasi once na i-activate o gamitin natin yung pinaka-fire extinguisher at meron pa rin natirang laman, ang tendency nito is nadidepressurize na completely yung fire extinguisher. So meaning, even though meron pa rin contents yung pinaka-fire extinguisher natin, pero dahil sa siya is depressurized na siya, unable na ngayon yung ating suppressing substance to go out of the pressurized cylinder. So, make sure na pag ginamit natin yung fire extinguisher, kinakailangan fully consume up na natin ito. So, another acronym that is usually used in the use of fire extinguishers is what we call RACE. So, R-A-C-E. So, yung R stands for the removal or evacuation of any person that is actually in immediate danger. So, yung A naman is to sound the alarm, as in to alert other nearby individuals of the imminent danger. So, kinakailangan i-sound off natin yung alarm, which could be a bell or a ringer, which is usually used for such cases. So, yung C naman stands for to contain the emergency or situation from getting worse. So, ang gagawin natin dito is para hindi na lalo lumaki yung fire outbreak natin, ang gagawin natin dito is, if possible, kung merong mga pinto as well as mga windows, ang kinakailangan natin, isara natin sila. This is to prevent the entry of air. So, in this case, kung wala makakapasok na hangin or oxygen, there is starvation. So, by eliminating air, there is a lesser chance that the outbreak of a fire would take place or mas maliit na ngayon yung coverage ng isang fire outbreak. Then last is letter E, which stands for evacuate. So, kinakailangan i-leave natin yung scene immediately. So, if you are trained to combat fire, so kung meron tayong mga possible trainings before, pwede tayong mag-lend ng hand. If not, kung wala tayong training dito, kinakailangan mag-leave na tayo, mag-evacuate na tayo ng situation natin o location at the soonest possible time. Kasi nga, eventually, baka maging baggage lamang kayo all along or maging casualty lamang kayo. So next natin is notes regarding the use or storage as well as handling of such fire extinguishers. So for number 1, a fire extinguisher is to be used in case of emergency. So ginagamit natin yung fire extinguisher. So hindi ito dapat itago. So it should not be kept away from the eyes of the public. So meaning, it should be positioned in a conspicuous or readily noticeable and then accessible location. So, pwede itong ihang sa isang platform or to be safe, pwede itong naka-enclose sa isang glass window. So, of the two, mas advisable yung merong glass window para eventually maiwasan natin yung tampering. Kasi eventually, kahit sino, most especially mga bata, pwedeng niyang i-access o galawin yung isang fire extinguisher kung nakahang lang siya sa isang platform. So number 2 is that in times that a fire extinguisher is scheduled to be charged for possible replacement, there should be a temporary replacement. So gaya ng sabi ko kanina, a fire outbreak can happen at any time and most especially in the time that you least expect it to happen. So gaya nga ng sabi ng iba pa rin yung handa. So third one is that fire extinguishers normally have expiration dates at around 3 years. But there are certain types or brands that can actually last up to 10 to 12 years. So kahit anong kinis or ganda pa ng cylinder ng isang fire extinguisher, hindi ka pa rin sure if expired na to or hindi unless personally i-check mo ito from its tag or that of its label. So fourth is possession of fire extinguishers are now considered to be a standard or now a staple when applying for a business or occupancy permit. So in case na, let's say for example, meron tayong workspace or environment that is actually characterized by hot works, dapat meron tayong nakaantabay na fire extinguisher. So kapag sinabi kasi nating hot works, ito yung work activity such as welding, brazing, cutting, and then grinding that is usually characterized by sparks or friction that could likely trigger any outbreak of a fire. Supposedly, meron tayong presence ng mga combustibles which could be a liquid, a solid, or that of a gas nearby. Now, there are times that there are unscrupulous owners trying to deceive the proper authorities. Ito yung mga BFP natin na merong mga fire extinguishers on hand only to see that such fire extinguishers are either expired or fully used up. So in cases that there are used or worn out fire extinguishers, they should be reported to the custodian or personnel in charge of all such fire extinguishers. So in this case they should be charged properly with the right amount of pressure. So sa nakikita natin yung pressure gauge na siya magsasuggest kung tama ba yung charging pressure, dapat yung pinakadialhan natin nakaturo o nakapwesto dito sa pinaka-green side, meaning properly charged. Ngayon, kung siya naman is nagsasway dito sa pinaka-left side, which is indicated by the red color, ibig sabihin masyado mataas yung charging pressure. Ngayon, kung yung pinaka-dialhan naman natin is nakasway dito sa pinaka-left side, ibig sabihin naman to, yung charging pressure natin masyado mababa o hindi pa rin tama. So again, we have unscrupulous individuals making a mockery of the BFP requirements. So fire extinguishers can be tampered. So thus, close inspection of such fire extinguishers is a must. So such fire extinguishers should be frisked up close to see if there are possible tamperings on the unit itself. So kinakailangan salatin natin yung buong parts o portion ng pinaka-pressure cylinder natin. Now, fire extinguishers are actually made up of pressurized metal container or vessel. Thus, it is actually normal that at prolonged periods of use or display at sabayan pa ng isang corrosive environment, there could be possible lumps or bulges na makikita natin sa pinaka-body ng pressure cylinder. Now, if ever meron tayong makitang lumps or bulges sa part ng pinaka-body ng isang fire extinguisher, it is a possible sign that corrosion is actually slowly creeping inside. So eventually, it would compromise the safety of the fire extinguisher and most importantly, yung pinaka-user na pinaka-fire extinguisher natin. So, to-do list in case of a fire. So, as what was mentioned previously, a fire outbreak can actually happen at any time of the day and in the least expected time. So, being ready in case of a fire outbreak is a given so that you won't panic in case that a fire outbreak is already on hand. So, number one is do not panic, be calm, and then act quickly. So, in this case, try to cover your mouth with a damp cloth and then keep low to the floor while looking for the proper escape route. So, technically speaking, keeping low is a must since air is actually considered to be much denser as compared to smoke. So, technically speaking, sa pinaka-lower part ng isang room, kung saan meron tayong fire outbreak, makikita natin yung presence ng hangin. Tapos yung pinaka-topmost portion, doon natin makikita yung presence ng smoke. So, hangin yung mahihinga natin instead na smoke kung tayo ay maglalay low to the floor. So, mas mataas yung chances natin na mabuhay kung ganito yung possible setup natin. So, another is that when you are cooking and then suddenly nag-burst into flame yung pan na gamit nyo. So, in this case, no, do not attempt to douse o wag nyo buhusan ng tubig yung apoy since ma-agitate lang natin yung fire. So, technically speaking, ang water kasi is composed of hydrogen and oxygen. So, in this case, instead na masuppress natin yung flame, mas mataas yung probability na lalo pang lumaki yung fire natin. So, ang tamang gawin natin dito is to look for a cover to basically start the fire or flame of oxygen. So, tatakpan lang natin yung pan that is actually bursting into flames. So, in any case naman that there is a small fire outbreak caused by an ordinary combustible, so you could make do with a wetted blanket. So, tatakpan lang natin ng isang basang blanket yung fire itself. So, but the best way to suppress o para apulahin natin yung isang apoy is to make use of an ABC type of fire extinguisher, which could extinguish fires caused by ordinary combustibles, flammable liquids as well as gases, and then energize electrical machines or equipment. Which is why all residential homes should make use of an ABC type of fire extinguisher. So, para panglahatan eh. So, instead na gumamit kayo ng Class A, Class B, or Class C, mas safe na ang gamitin natin dito is Class ABC. Now, again, in any case that a fire is actually caused by a faulty electrical wire or electrical device, again, do not attempt to douse water onto it as water is considered to be a form of conductor. So, kahit bad conductor yung water, meron pa rin tayong risk of possible electrocution. So, in case that an ABC or Type C fire extinguisher is not available, the least that you could do is to cut off the main electrical wire. So, para ma-starve natin yung energy na nag-cause ng fire. So, in case that the fire is actually beyond control, make sure that all nearby individuals are actually at a safe place. So, again, do not attempt to recover any of your belongings as you might get trapped inside. So, mas mahalaga ang buhay natin, no? Kaysa sa mga valuables natin kasi minsan lang tayo nabubuhay. So, another is that you should call for immediate help, like calling the assistance of the BFP, the PNP, and an ambulance. Thus, it is actually quite important or imperative to list down all possible contact numbers of our uniformed personnel that can actually help out in such case that a fire outbreak is actually taking place. Now, supposedly you were able to salvage some of your personal belongings, do not just place them on locations or areas that are actually access roads or routes by our firefighters. So wag lang tayo basta-basta magtatambak do sa mga daanan ng mga rescuers natin o ng mga bombero. So in this case, you are actually doing more harm than good at such practice. Now, in cases naman that you are actually trapped at higher floor elevations, kalmahan nyo lang yung sarili nyo and do not even think of jumping from upper story windows. So, base kasi sa data, maraming casualties yung nag-take place wherein casualties actually jump to their death even while the firemen are actually just readying their ladders for possible extrication or evacuation. Again, entering the premises of a burning building or house is unwarranted. Only the saving of another life warrants such action. So, iwanan natin yung pagsisave ng mga lives sa ating mga firefighters who are well-trained for such scenario. So, in case naman that you are actually injured o meron tayong ibang tao na na-injured, so ang gawin lang natin dito is to try to locate a uniformed personnel which could either be a firefighter or a medical personnel para mag-seek out tayo ng immediate first aid. So last one is that in case that the person has his or her clothes burning, kalmahin lang natin yung tao and then prevent him or her from panicking as well as running. Kasi nga yung pagtakbo niya would further fan the flames. So mas lalaki yung flames natin. So in such a case, ang gagawin natin dito sa tao na to is let this person perform a stop, then drop, and then roll out motion to take out the flames from his or her burning clothes. So given are the following fire prevention tips to prevent the outbreak of any fire from taking place. So for number 1, it is forbidden or a big no-no to leave fires and then open flames unattended. So second one is wag matigas yung ulo. So as in do not smoke in non-smoking areas. So meron tayong logical reason as to why such signage was actually put into place in such location. So third one is it is all the more forbidden to smoke or use flames in confined spaces or vessels containing a flammable substance as tragedy is just waiting around the corner. So fourth is that authorities or occupants of the establishment itself should be vigilant in checking the status of electrical installations, devices, and then equipments for any kind of deficiencies na pwede magpagsimulan ng electrical fires. So, only well-trained or authorized personnel should tamper with any kind of circuit breakers or switches. So, wag marunong kung hindi alam yung gagawin if ever. So, another one is that flammable substances such as gasoline, oils, and then gases with low flash points should be handled with care and then stored properly. So, ang ibig sabihin ng low flash point is that it is considered to be the lowest temperature of a fuel to ignite at the soonest possible time. So, in this case, possible sources of friction or ignition should be kept away from them. Another is that when storing materials or combustibles, they should be piled up properly. So, kinakailangan meron tayong proper space to move or roam freely, which is very important in case that a fire outbreak has already taken place, so that firefighters as well as other volunteers can move swiftly around such materials or combustibles. And then, all sources of ignition are prohibited in areas where flammable liquids or other flammable substances are to be stored. So, ito yung protocol na hindi madalas masunod, as in paint materials other than required in one day of work should not be stored in any building under construction. So, as the building structure has yet to be finished, there is a very high probability that flammable materials can be exposed to possible sources of ignition or friction. So, this would likely lead to a case of fire outbreak. So, another one is that there should be sufficient ventilation to prevent the accumulation of flammable vapors to hazardous levels. So, kinakailangan meron tayong proper ventilation for any storage of flammable substances or large presence of flammable materials. So the same holds true in the case of LPG containers and other similar equipments. Again, proper ventilation is a must to prevent the onset of any fire outbreak. Now, in this case, avoid using PVC and then aluminum tubing in any kind of LPG system. So, yung mga materials cited could have possible chemical reaction, likely leading to their compromise, so leading to possible leaks which could be fatal as gases readily cover areas or expand immediately. So, dito, mataas yung probability na meron tayong possible explosion. So next natin is housekeeping and then disposal of rubbish. So in this case, combustible refuse and then waste should be deposited or disposed of properly in a non-combustible covered receptacle, which is ito yon, with a self-closing cover. So ang standard practice natin dito is to empty such receptacle daily for their proper disposal. So second one is that all workers should be made aware of the safe and then proper disposal of the rubbish or refuse. So eventually, any work operation program should have such disposal procedure involving the said waste. So another one is that other than combustible refuse or waste, combustible rubbish, weeds, and then grass should be also forbidden from accumulating near buildings, storage tanks, and then drums of flammable liquids and other combustible materials. So, mas malaki kasi ang volume ng combustible or flammable substances, eventually, mas malaking fire coverage or fire outbreak yung maaaring mangyari. So, meaning, mas maraming fire suppression materials o mas malaking fire suppression system yung kinakailangan natin. Or technically speaking, mas mahirap apulahin yung gantong klase ng fire outbreak. So another one is that rubbish or garbage should only be burned in properly designated areas away from buildings, sheds, lumber piles, fences, grass, and other combustible materials. And then last is that the burning of waste inside a work site or job site is strictly prohibited. So, pwede kasi siya mag-cause ng discomfort to the workers inside, and most of all, pwede siya maging cause ng fire outbreak, most especially if meron tayong ibang combustible materials adjacent to the burning site. So, ito na yung pinaka-last slide ng aking presentation, which is a sample workshop or that of a workplace with a good safety program in place. So for number 1, makikita natin isang panel board. So dapat yung panel board na to, meron siyang tamang amperage rated capacity which is actually in sync or attuned with all the electrical equipments or devices na makikita natin dito sa workplace na to. So for number 2 naman, which is ito, kinakailangan meron tayong efficient and then working fire detection system. So, ito yung fire detection system natin o fire alarm natin. Tapos, ito naman yung tinutukoy nating fire sprinkler system. So, for number 3, other than making use of a fire sprinkler system, meron din tayo ditong isang portable handheld device na ginagamit din natin in case na meron tayong fire outbreak. So, ito yung tinutukoy nating fire extinguisher. So, yung fire extinguisher natin dito, dalawang klase. Isang kulay red, which could be of the ABC type. Tapos, isang kulay silver, which is of the Class D type. So, supposedly, meron tayong presence of any combustible metal. So, for number 4, so, syempre, pag nagkaroon tayo ng fire outbreak, mawawalan ng power. So, pag nawalan ng power, mawawalan ng ilaw. So, in this case, kinakailangan meron tayong emergency lights guiding us along the way papunta doon sa mga exit routes. So, for number 5 is kinakailangan meron tayong proper waste disposal bins that are actually not combustible. So this with a self-closing cover, and that such bins or canisters should be emptied and then disposed of regularly. So meaning kinakailangan daily, kinakailangan tanggalin natin yung mga contents nito. So for number 6, which is ito, kinakailangan there should be proper storage facilities for any other combustible materials. Then for number 7, in case na meron tayong presence ng lethal flammable gases in the workplace, there should be this what we call gas detection device on hand to verify its presence. So para ma-alert tayo kung meron na bang nagli-leak na lethal flammable gases natin within the workplace. And then for number 8, which is ito. So for number 8, aside from emergency lights, there should also be portable smoke penetrating lighting device na pwede natin bitbitin along the way papunta dito sa mga fire escape routes natin. Then for number 9, ito, makikita natin, meron tayong extension wire. So yung mga extension wires na ginagamit natin dito should be checked regularly of any possible defects. And then for number 10, kung papasin natin, itong workplace natin, meron tayong good housekeeping. So with no solid combustible refuse or other flammable materials lying unattendedly on the floor. And then last one, number 11, kung makikita natin dito, meron tayo ditong isang heater. So 11 is that devices that are possible sources of heat or ignition should be kept away from combustible materials. So this actually concludes my presentation. Again, my name is Engineer Gerald S. Robles, aka Sir Bogart. So I am a faculty member of the Mechanical Engineering Department under the College of Engineering and Architecture of the Bataan Peninsula State University main campus. So again, thank you for listening to my presentation.